Hello and good day, my fellow travelers and backpackerinos. Welcome to another episode of On the Road at the Speed of Mike. In this episode, we're going to be leaving my home state of South Jersey and heading to Delaware, Maryland, and Washington, D.C. Really, there isn't anything that great in those places, so I'll do my best.
Okay, let's be real. There isn't too much to see in Delaware, and we just crossed the border into Maryland right then. That was a sign right there. So, that was Delaware?
So rather than stopping in Maryland, I'm just going to explain it to you. It's not that there aren't things to see there. There are plenty of things to see. Like they're, I don't know, they have crab cakes or something, I think. But really, the state should just be like chopped up into 3 other states. Basically, the peninsula should go to Delaware and make Delaware an actual real-size state. There's another like panhandle that should go into West Virginia, basically. It looks like West Virginia. And then the rest of it can get chopped up into Pennsylvania and Virginia, probably. But I'll give this to Maryland. They have the best flag in the Union. It's something that you could probably see on, like, a medieval knight on his horse. Some kind of, like, I don't know, heraldry or something. But it's pretty cool, so good job, Maryland.
Our first and only stop in Maryland is going to be
Gunpowder State Park in Maryland. As you can see, it's kind of snowing.
I didn't know what was there aside from the waterfall, which I didn't end up seeing. But there's some old buildings and hiking trails along pleasant streams and rivers. On Maryland a lot because I got a camera ticket here, and those things are BS, and so is any state government that uses them. But Maryland does have a few cool spots. Ocean City, Maryland, some of Baltimore, and I've always wanted to see the Tank Museum at Annapolis Proving Grounds, but it's winter and I just don't want to be here, so on to
Washington, D.C. Some people love it, some people hate it, usually based on what their political convictions are at the time, but really that love or hate is more symbolic in a sense, on what the government actually stands for at the time. As a physical location, there's some pretty cool things to see there. There's a lot of history and some cool monuments. So if you're an American, it's worth a stop if you're passing by. Otherwise, I don't know. Personally, I never had a real love for the city. But to each their own.
has a love-hate relationship with the rest of the nation because of what it represents. Our nation is coming to a point where not only the physical monuments, but the freedoms and principles our founders built this republic on are being eroded and threatened with destruction. This has been going on for quite some time, ever since the nation's founding, some might argue. But it seems to be accelerating with technology, population growth, and globalism, mirroring ancient Rome's transformation from republic to empire whose opulence, size, and social stratification created generation after generation more apathetic and indifferent than the last, to what made it strong in the first place, allowing it to become a paper tiger that crumbled under the weight of barbarian hordes, seeking to pick the riches of its rotting corpse. This is something that goes beyond the right-left dichotomy, and there's plenty who can explain it better than me, so let's focus on what's good about Washington, D.C. People seem to like living here. It's clean, and it has a high standard of living. Granted, that's because it's full of crooks and charlatans who are stealing money from the rest of the country. Sorry I had to get one more jab in, but nice is nice. Regardless of what you might think of Washington, its history, and what it actually stands for, the idealism and heroism still lives on its many iconic monuments, and what they were meant to represent as long as we the people believe it does.
Well, I hope you enjoyed that very rushed and minuscule portion of Maryland and Washington, D.C., and I didn't even stop in Delaware. So let's head on to Virginia.